Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us all on a weekday evening after your work schedules or in the midst of it for some of you. So yeah, we have an impressive Gen AI stack startup, Adya.ai, utilizing building on top of ONDC space, which is in one of the most sought after areas domains right now. And we have Shayak, who's the founder and CEO with us. Also earlier the founder of Unimart and yeah, ex Rocket Internet. So yeah, without much ado, I'll hand it over to you, Shayak, to give a quick intro and then get started.
Hi, thanks, Rohan. Thank you very much for organizing the event and pleasure to be speaking to so many investors. Gentlemen and ladies, my name is Shayak. I'm the founder, CEO, CTO of this company called by the beach in Goa, which was a lot of fun. And then I ended up in Paris, where I did my MBA at INSEAD. As you may know, INSEAD is one of the best business schools in the world. After finishing my MBA at INSEAD, I uh, joined the Rocket Internet Group. At Rocket, I was heading cross-border commerce across LATAM, Africa, South Asia, and China, and grew that particular vertical a lot. And then from there, I went on and started my own business in Singapore, which I later expanded to US. And sometime around the mid of last year, May 2023, is when we started this company, Adya. Um, so that's a little bit about me. I'm going to share my screen and we will get started on this. Yeah. Okay. So what is Adya? First of all, before we understand Adya, let's understand the difference between protocols and platforms. So we live in the world of platforms today, right? Platforms essentially are places or applications where demand and supply come to meet. So, an Amazon is a platform, Swiggy is a platform, Google is a platform, Microsoft is a platform. These are all platforms, and we live in the world of platforms, which is amazing in the early stages because platforms tend to bring a lot of demand, which helps if you're running a small business, for you to connect to that demand would have been difficult otherwise. So platforms aggregate that demand and give it to you, and all you have to do is provide your services to that demand. But as these platforms start to scale, something changes. What happens is something called, which has been studied a lot in business schools around the world, it is called platform economics. Now, notice this. If I say car hailing or ride sharing, you can't think of beyond Uber and Ola. If I say e-commerce marketplace, you normally can't think beyond Amazon and Flipkart. If I say, food delivery, you normally can't think beyond Swiggy and Zomato. If I say, you want to buy an insurance, you won't be able to think beyond Policy Bazaar, maybe insurance they could to an extent, very little. If I say I want to buy a flight ticket, you will think Make My Trip. The reason this happens is because as more demand comes in, the platform is able to go and negotiate better deals with the suppliers, and then more demand comes in and more suppliers come in, and you know, after a point, these platforms make it impossible for competition to grow. So typically, in any domain, in any market that you go to, you will find just two or one. So it's a duopoly or a monopoly. That's it. But this does not happen in the real world. If Maruti is the biggest car manufacturer in India, that doesn't mean that if Honda wants to sell or Kia wants to sell, they don't have a market share. But when it comes to platforms, they dominate it to an extent that somebody else can't enter. First. Second, if you're a small business, initially the demand that the platform was giving you was great. But as you start growing, or rather the platform starts growing, you realize that one, the success rate on platforms is very, very low. It is designed in a way on Amazon, and only 5,000 are getting orders. So almost all the orders that Amazon is generating is from those 5,000 sellers. This is really surprising. And more surprising is that these small businesses, in order to come on page one, in order to get into that 0.7% successful sellers, will end up giving these platforms at least 50% of their revenues. 15% as commission, 15-20% marketing, 15-20% supply chain cost. That's how much you give. And what do you get? Very little. The result is that most of these merchants have realized that I will have to go learn how to sell on different platforms separately. There's not one way. Each platform cataloging is different, pricing is different, marketing is different. I'll have to spend a lot of money in marketing, etc., and I may get very little returns. What is the result? Only 2% of Indian merchants are digitized today, just two, because they realize that selling on these platforms is not necessarily as beneficial as it was made out to be. What is the alternative? The alternative is a protocol. We live in the world of protocols, you and me. We just don't realize it. It's like the air around us. Think of the internet. The internet is a protocol. Every website can connect with every browser. No website needs to go and strike a deal with a browser to be visible on the browser. No. That is because underlying this, there is a internet protocol, the TCP/IP protocol. So if you, as Chrome, Google Chrome, decided to charge people money, people would just shift to the next browser. Even though Google Chrome is an overwhelming majority, if they started charging money, people would shift. Similarly, think about the 5G. That's another protocol, telecom. You can call from one number, from one provider in any country to another number in another provider in any other country. Everything is interoperable. So on one hand, we have platforms, on the other hand, we have protocols. What the Indian government has been doing very, very intelligently is promoting digital public protocols or digital public infrastructures. We started first with Aadhaar. Aadhaar gave a digital identity to every Indian. Then came UPI and a bunch of other smaller protocols. And then now finally, the time for ONDC has come. Aadhaar was ID, UPI was payments, ONDC is the entire transaction. Now, why is ONDC such a big thing? Because you have small domain specific protocols. You have protocols for health, you have protocols for laborers making payments back home, you have protocols for recurring payments. ONDC cuts across all industries and all domains. If you have demand and supply, you have a protocol that makes it connect. That's ONDC. It's a protocol that will make things connect. Okay, so let's understand a little bit deeper there. We have all heard of APIs, right? APIs are application programming interfaces. So APIs are basically small little pieces of code that are written to help two applications to connect. Very simple. Now, if you take a bunch of APIs and you standardize them, make them such that the whole industry will use exactly the same APIs, you have a protocol. So by default, the protocol doesn't have a platform, which means you can't directly access the internet. You need a browser. You need a website. You can't touch the internet. It's not something that you can directly connect with. It's a set of rules implemented through APIs. Same way, ONDC is a set of rules implemented through APIs. Now, there are two key things to understand: interoperability and unbundling. Interoperability means if ONDC works, you will be able to go search for what you want to eat on Uber or Ola or your banking app. And the seller will be sitting on some other application, let's say Flipkart. And the shipping will be done by somebody else, let's say Zomato. All this connection, nobody integrates with anybody, nobody ties up with anybody. This is all possible because everybody is following the same APIs and the whole industry is connected by ONDC, regulated by ONDC. Unbundling means buyer and seller will never be on the same application. Now, if you think about it, when you come to Amazon and you want to buy something, the seller is also on Amazon. So the search is inside Amazon. But in ONDC, if somebody wants to buy something, that search result is broadcasted to the whole protocol. It is not, buyer and seller cannot be on the same application. That is a big change. We don't realize it immediately, but it's a big change. The change is the applications don't have any kind of unilateral or exclusive advantage. Even if there is a big application which has a lot of buyers in it, it doesn't have the sellers. So it can't tell the buyers, I have all the sellers, so I'll charge you more. Even if there is an application which is a big seller application and all the sellers or majority of the sellers in it, it cannot tell the sellers, I have all the buyers. All the buyers are on many applications. So this is a many to many relationship, and it applies in every domain. It is not limited to retail. You can actually get a loan on ONDC. So you can simply go to any application, search for a loan. Every lender will send their response there. And you take a loan from whoever you want. You can take an insurance like that. You can say, I want a health insurance. You can say, I want a motor insurance. You can buy mutual funds that way. You can book a car, you can book a flight ticket, and it is entering into every possible domain. At the end of my presentation, I'll give you some examples of how we are enabling diverse set of customers to go live on ONDC. Now, this is how the flow works. This is the most important slide. Essentially, a buyer comes on a buyer application. What is a buyer application? Any application that has a large number of buyers like you and me who are buying any product or service. Now, normally, if you go to Amazon, you buy e-commerce products. You don't buy insurance or flight tickets on Amazon. The reason is each platform specializes in one particular industry or one particular category or one particular domain. And then they will get the best deals in that domain. But in ONDC, that is not the case. Any of these applications which are there in your pocket today, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Paytm, PhonePe, your banking applications, NDTV, doesn't matter. All these applications have crores of users who are going every day. All they will do is open up a window. That window is essentially you are searching for, say, a shoe or an insurance or a flight ticket. Whatever you're searching, that search is not happening in that app. That search is broadcast like a walkie-talkie. That search is broadcast to everybody selling that product in India. So say you are buying a pair of leather shoes. You search for that pair of shoes. Every seller and every seller app sitting on this side will hear the same request that Shayak has come on any one of these applications and is searching for a pair of leather shoes. So what is the advantage for the buyer? The buyer gets universal discovery. The buyer finds every single seller who's selling that product, who is willing to sell to him or ship to him. Or he can also go pick it up. Now, at this point, many of us are thinking of ONDC as e-commerce. Two things. One, not e-commerce and not even just commerce. ONDC enables demand and supply to meet, which means I, as Shayak, could walk into a local kirana shop, let's say Gupta ji, and Gupta ji tells me, Are Shayak, scan that QR code. I scan the QR code. What will happen? If you scan a UPI QR code, it takes you to a UPI app on the phone. If you scan a ONDC QR code, it will take you to any ONDC application on your phone. So I will go to whatever ONDC application is there on my phone. I will discover what Gupta ji is selling. Now, I may decide to buy on my application, or Gupta ji may insist that I buy on my application. Why? Because the brand that Gupta ji is selling is giving Gupta ji an additional discount or an additional incentive to sell digitally. And my buyer app is giving me an additional discount if I buy through that. So both ways we are winning. Plus, I save Gupta ji. I go home. Next time I want to buy that item or something like that, I simply go to my buyer app. I say Gupta ji ke dukaan se order kar do. And that order will go to Gupta ji. Now Gupta ji can send that item home or I can go pick it up. So the beauty of this is that for an end user like me, I get to see everybody. I get to buy from the kiranas I was buying or the retailers I was buying. I get to buy from the insurance providers. I get to buy whatever product or service I want from whoever I want. It's a universal discovery. For a seller, it is even more beneficial because imagine you have to go on Amazon, learn how to sell on Amazon, Swiggy, learn how to sell on Swiggy, learn how to sell on Flipkart, learn how to sell on Nike. No, go to any seller app, doesn't matter which seller app it is. List yourself there. You don't have to pay anything. You will become discoverable on every buyer app in the country. And the beauty of it is, no buyer app can use an algorithm. That means if Shayak goes and is searching for, say, shoes, the buyer app doesn't get to decide which shoe seller will show up first. No. Instead, I get to choose whether I'm sorting by distance or I'm sorting by price or I'm sorting by rating. Whatever I want to sort, I will sort. And I will choose Mr. Sharma whose shoes I'm buying or Bata whose shoes I'm buying or Red tape whose shoes I'm buying. It's my call. But the buyer app doesn't get to tell me what to see. And because that doesn't exist, the entire power of the application goes away. So now the seller's price comes down from 50% per order to 5%, 6% per order. Because, hey, there's no marketing here. The category commission that a buyer app can charge is 2%, 3%, not more. Because every buyer app is composable. You can go to another buyer app if they're charging too much. So this is beautiful. This is helping everybody. But let's understand it from a large enterprise point of view. Imagine you are HUL. Imagine you are ITC. Imagine you are Air India. Imagine you are Tata AIG. Any large company. What have you been doing so far? You have been trying a little bit e-commerce on the side. You don't want to sell on an Amazon or a Flipkart. Why? Because three things. You don't want to give your data to them. You don't want to pay them that amount of cost that they're charging. And you want to control your business model. HUL sells through Kiranas. Coca Cola sells through Kiranas, but Domino's has their own stores. Tata AIG sells through agents. So the point is, everybody has a different business model, which they cannot implement if they go to a platform. But the retail distribution chains which they're built are very opaque. No real-time discovery, no information goes back until the purchase has happened. So here's where it gets very beautiful. You, if you're a large company, you can get the best of both worlds. You create your own application. If you're Google Pay and you have crores of people coming on your application every day to just send money, you just open up a window and people will buy food there, get a car there, book a flight ticket there, get an insurance there, get whatever they want to there. On the other hand, if you're HUL and you have 12 lakh Kiranas in India who are connected to you, who are purchasing products from you, you create a seller application, bring all those 12 lakh Kiranas quickly into your application and let them connect their products on the network. What will happen? When Shayak goes to a buyer app to search, Shayak will find the nearest Kirana. Why? Because that Kirana is selling through HUL's app. Shayak will place an order. Who will get the information data? HUL. Who will get a percentage on the sale? HUL. So HUL or any other large enterprise can create their own seller application, either for selling their own products or as a marketplace for others to sell their products. But this is where it gets really, really interesting. While ONDC is amazing, it's absolutely different. It is possibly the best solution I've seen in my life. It is also very, very complicated to build tech on. Very compliance driven. It's like building your own payment gateway. In the last 2 years, 1 month, 15,000 companies have tried building their applications on ONDC. 15,000. The industry knows the value of ONDC. Only 65 have gone live. 15,000 are trying, 65 have gone live. Why? That is the bottleneck for ONDC to really take off. And that is also the bottleneck for all these businesses to succeed. Today, we still live in the platform world, the world of monopolies and duopolies. But if an Adya exists, then all these enterprises can quickly go to ONDC and start their GTM in 7 days. There is no 1 year, 2 year of building. There is no breaking your head. How do I build that tech? What we did is we created an app store. If you're an enterprise, come to the app store. Choose which domain you are in: retail, finance, mobility, logistics. Select which application you need. Okay, I need a buyer application. I need a seller application. I need a grievance management. I need a finance management, whatever applications you need, all ready made. Change the front end, white label the front end however you want to. Design it. So take your APIs, plug in whatever solutions you want to plug in. You want to plug it into your ERP, CRM, accounting tool, do that. Host it wherever you want to host it. So you can connect to the cloud, control your servers, control your storage, go live. Connect all your users, give the different roles to them, create the different rules of how people will use your business. All of this ready-made tech stack. Anybody can come build their application, go live in 7 days. Select which bank they want, which payment gateway they want. All options are ready. Select and go live. Now the question is, why will this make such a big difference? These businesses that we're talking about have either lakhs of small businesses in their ecosystem, or crores of end users, or hundreds of thousands of stores of their own. If they get the technology and they're able to connect on ONDC, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Don't forget that Adya is also the most advanced platform in this space in India today. We have created a complete Gen AI suite, which I promise you, if you see a demonstration, you'll have no doubts about. You can simply go and ask, hey, I want to make dosa tonight. So if you say this in Hindi, मुझे आज रात को dosa बनाना है, first thing it will do is it will convert voice to text, then language translation to English. Then it understands you want to make a dosa, so it goes to the internet, finds the ingredients, whatever, dal, tel, namak, everything it finds, shows you that list of items. You say, okay, it goes on ONDC, finds who's selling it, helps you make the purchase. If you're a seller, you want to do your cataloging, take a photo of what you're selling, or simply give us a voice note of what you're selling. Catalog done. You want to do grievance management? Let the grievance come in, we will do the solutioning and wait for you to just say yes. All of this capabilities using generative AI, and there is core intellectual property that we built here, which is all ours. Of course, you can plug in ChatGPT, you can plug in all the open source APIs. You can even use this on WhatsApp. And just to put things in perspective, as I will go ahead forward, I'll explain to you. We are doing a major partnership go-to-market with Microsoft, with Google, with WhatsApp, and I'll show you the proof of those as well as we go. So how do we make money? We make money in two ways. First, we take an implementation fee. It is typically about 10 lakh rupees per app. Plus, we take 1% of the sale as our margin, with a minimum guarantee of 50 to 70,000 rupees per app per month. Which means that if you're doing well, your percentage will be high. If you're not doing so well, you'll at least pay us the minimum guarantee. This is how Adya makes money. And here's the proof. The companies that have already chosen to use our technology. Canara Bank, 100% implemented by us. That was a $500 million deal. Aditya Birla Group, their credit application. Coca Cola is running this across 1.5 lakh kiranas in India using an application called Coke Buddy. We are converting that Coke Buddy into an ONDC seller app. Hindustan Unilever, they run a very similar thing across about 10, 12 lakh kiranas called Shikhar. We are converting that into we're providing the grievance management, finance management for that application. Wins, this is India's largest rewards program. Zion Mart sits inside at least 100 different cooperative banks and societies. And they are providing this to everybody, including all the FPOs and Bobble AI. These are all our existing customers with signed contracts, revenues. Febi provides a large amount of accounting support to many large companies, etc. Right? Okay. We have also done major distribution partnerships. So we need to understand this, that the technology stack that we're building, many people might think it's like another Shopify. It's not. Because in Shopify, you launch your own store as a tenant on the main Shopify app on the platform, right? Whereas in our case, this is not launched as a store on our tenant. No, it is launched as a separate app. This is about 5 times more complicated because every customer will come and launch their own app, and then they will bring lakhs of businesses or crores of customers on their apps. So taking something like this to market is complicated. Who has access to these customers, these large enterprises? Well, people like Google, Microsoft, Meta, banks like HSBC, Axis Bank, Yes Bank. Guess who has done partnerships with all of them? Us. The CTO of Microsoft, and I can share my screen and show you how keen they are to take us to market. The CTO of Google Cloud in India, I can show you my screen how keen they are. They're taking it to everybody. There's a big launch they're doing. HSBC's global CEO, Mr. Noel Quinn, was in India on 5th of September. and he did the launch. For the first time in 20 years, HSBC's global CEO did a launch in India. It was a big thing with the CEO of ONDC and the CEO of NPCI at the Global FinTech Fest. And when they did the launch, after that, all the other banks came running. They said, we also want to partner with you. This is what we are raising. Recently, we Founder Circle has been added. Indian Angel Network is leading the round. Mr. Ramesh Shopti, the ex-chairman CEO of IndusInd Bank. He is the lead for IN, Rukam, Let's Venture, Bobble, Panthera, etc. This is so we are kind of oversubscribed for this round. User funds. Um, Today we are spending about close to 35 lakhs a month. Mostly in salaries. We've got about 35 people in the team. And the revenues, we are making about 12 lakh rupees a month. Now it's growing quickly because the number of signups are going up a lot. And so the money that will come in will primarily be used towards improving the technology and taking it to market. And so what we're targeting is by the end of this year, we will have about 40-50 companies who are using us. Already we have 20 contracts, which have been signed in the last 5-6 months. And we are going to expand that to about 50 by the end of the year. And we are only targeting large companies. So these are some of our projections. I'll go through this more during the Q&A. So you know my background already. I'll give you a little background about Archana. She's my co-founder. She is an IIM Bangalore graduate. She's also ran a television ads production house for 15 years in Mumbai, very, very successfully, produced more than 800 television commercials. So she's like one of the most phenomenal entrepreneurs I've met. Also, Angad. Angad is my other co-founder. He used to head real estate, I think, for the Investment Corporation of Dubai, the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Dubai, ran his own family business in aviation, took multiple brands global, ran his own e-commerce marketplace, etc. Quick understanding of who else is in this space. There's only one other technology provider in ONDC. Obviously, as time goes by, a lot more technology providers would enter ONDC because they would see the opportunity that is there, which we are obviously the best place today. Now, quick understanding about Plotch. Plotch actually started a lot before us, right? Plotch started sometime in January 2022. We started in September 2023. So they had about 15, 16 months or more lead on us. And so some of the customers that you see on Plotch's side have been closed in 2022 when we didn't exist in the market. But from 2023, since we went to market, we have closed more customers, more revenues, closed it faster. And the primary reason is this, that not only is our tech stack more complete, it is more composable. Each application is separate. You can customize whatever you want, and you can launch it in 7 days. Whereas when it comes to Plotch, they have to build the application separately for each customer. And other than that, the Gen AI capability, which I pointed out, is an incredibly big differentiator between us and everybody else. So yes, I will show you some of the applications and then I'm done. I'll be open for Q&A. This is the application that we built for Canara Bank. This is both mobile banking and internet banking. All our applications work on web and mobile as well. So I'll show you. So this is how it will look on mobile, right? So these applications work inside, all these applications work inside Canara Bank's mobile application and web application. So similarly, we built it for WINS, which is the country's largest rewards program. We built it for Zionmart, which is sitting inside a lot of cooperative societies. We built the seller app for Canara Bank. I'm not showing you the admin panels. We will have time to get into the details. This is a logistics app. This is a seller application. This is this is a grievance management application. This is an incredibly complex, very advanced finance application, which does everything from tax calculations to payments to settlements to everything for every partner. And this is the logistics application. So with that, I'm bringing my presentation to an end. I'm open for questions.
Thanks, Shayak. Was truly an impressive pitch, and good to see the first mover advantage that you guys are slowly building. So yeah, we've had a bunch of questions in the chat. I think a lot of them have already been answered during the pitch. So would request folks to either, if your question is still open, retype it in the chat or raise your hand if you wish to speak. We'll allow you to unmute and ask your query as well.
Okay, so quickly answering Uday's question to train LLM, what is the data source? We have about 15 lakh products, which we have converted into 1.5 million vectors. And we also have a significant database of different grievances, etc., which we had to begin with. And then, of course, as more of these large enterprise customers are using us, their data goes into the LLM as well. This is a fine-tuned LLM, not our own LLM. And that is a big difference, by the way. Do we have any competition today? I've answered this. Who will take grievance management role here? So we are the technology provider, right? We're not running the application for Coca Cola or HUL. So we provide the grievance management application that their customer support teams, their grievance redressal officers will use to address grievances. And we also provide the rule management systems in those grievance management systems so that the cascading can be done between different apps. I'm happy to answer this in more detail, but just understand that the SLAs or the protocol is very well set. All you need to do is implement it thoroughly. And so we've done that in terms of the applications. And so people are using that grievance management application. Issue resolution, yeah, I've answered this. So look, I think I get this question a lot. If on Amazon I go and I ask for money back, what happens? Whereas on ONDC, who will take care? ONDC is not headless. It's not like it has been left out there to fend for itself. Actually, ONDC operates within the ambit of NPCI, RBI for all your payments, which means that nobody can run away with your payments. There's a new banking structure which has been created. So every payment goes into a network participant account, and even the company that is owning that account can't touch it. And if there is a settlement or if there's a return or something, it'll automatically go back to you. Now, and on top of it, so it's a grievance management protocol. So if you look into the protocols, we will realize that this has been one. It takes from the all the legalities of India, GST, E-commerce Act, FDI, and etc. And also on the second level, it takes it puts in place the existing control mechanisms that RBI, NPCI, everybody has. So your money is going nowhere. Nobody can run away with your money. It's just that you don't have to depend on an Amazon to give the solution here. This is already protocolized. I don't know if I answered that question. What is the revenue model? I've answered this. Does Protean have any connection with ONDC? Indeed, they do. Protean is one of the originators of ONDC, and Protean is now providing some service to some companies. But Protean technically does not have their own technology. They provide some of the gateway solutions. So every business needs to create their own seller application. I'm not so sure. It depends on your size. So if you're a bigger company, then it makes sense to have your own application to bring all your stores, all your sellers, all your distributors, etc. Yes, but if you are a small business, like you're running your own restaurant, and it definitely doesn't make sense to have your own seller application. You should go to somebody else who's running their own marketplace seller application and sell through that. If some fraud happens in case of the platform, we can complain to someone. I just answered this. There is a very detailed fraud prevention SLAs. So if there's a fraud happens, a buyer app will cascade that to the seller app. Remember, the money is collected by the buyer app. So if the seller app doesn't resolve the issue, the money goes back to the buyer. Why would the apps give up the control they have? Yeah, I'm not sure what this means. Sorry. Is it mandatory to be on ONDC? No, it was initially proposed to be mandatory, and then it was proposed as a kind of optional. But here's what you need to realize. When UPI came in, wallets became a past. When anything like this, a protocol comes in. By the way, I don't know how many of you know, before the internet, there was something like the internet, which was started by the French, which was controlled. So when something like a protocol, an open protocol comes in, it's a function of a finite resource versus an infinite resource. So platforms are finite resources. They have a lot of money, but finite. Whereas on the other hand, protocols are a collective of everybody. So they have infinite. It increases with more people coming on board. Even when sellers are part of the ONDC network, at some point they'll have to pay marketing fee to list their products. No, they don't. There is no marketing fee. Buyer apps are not allowed to charge anything for showcasing products. And by the way, products are listed on the seller app, not on the buyer app. Buyer apps only showcase, and buyer apps are not allowed to charge anything. They're allowed to charge on the sale. So if you're a big brand, you can always tie up with the buyer app and have a banner ad separately on top, which when somebody clicks, will take only to your products. That you can do. But that is you choosing to do that. But the buyer app cannot force you to pay anything because no search algorithm is allowed, Manisha. Is ONDC using blockchain tech? No, they are not. Is IndiaMart doing something similar? No, they are not. Unimart is a one-to-many relationship. It's one platform, IndiaMart or Skyscanner or any other TripAdvisor, any other aggregator like that. They are basically integrating individually with every other provider, and then they're showing what they want to show. Okay, but ONDC is not that. ONDC is a many-to-many. There can be many buyer apps. The search request, they're not integrated or connected with the seller apps. You send a search request, the search request goes to every seller app, they send the response back. So this is nothing like IndiaMart or any other aggregator platform. Going to the last set of questions which have come up. What's your vision, where you want to take this company, and is this startup your whole and sole focus right now? Yes, indeed, Pat. This is my only startup right now, and I want to take this to an exit. We actually have some incredibly large investors who are in late stage discussions with us. So hopefully our next round will happen soon. We also have, like I said, if I share my screen, and I will be able to show you how Microsoft is keen to partner with us, how Google is keen to partner with us, how WhatsApp is keen to partner with us and take us to market, how HSBC has already done the public partnership with us, and how Yes Bank has just signed the agreement with us. So we have a tremendous number of large companies who are taking us to market. Marketing strategy, I don't have a marketing strategy, FYI. We are not doing any marketing. What we do is distribution, not marketing. How much influence does government policy in operations of ONDC and Adya? In Adya, none. I mean, Adya follows the ONDC protocol, that's all. And government does have a lot of policy influence on ONDC because ONDC follows the government policy. We are very different from Protean. Protean provides, say, cloud management services or account management services. They don't have a tech of their own. We are a pure tech company. We provide technology to people, right? Do you own delivery agents? Nope. No service, no customer service, no on-ground services. We are a pure tech play. That is why we operate at 90% plus gross margins. Please detail out what comes with the seller application. All verticals. So retail, in retail, you can do food and beverage, beauty and personal care, fashion, electronics. You can do grocery. We are about to bring the gold industry on board. Many other such categories which you can sell. Other than that, in the financial services, you can sell insurance, mutual funds, and credit. So these all can come with our seller applications, depending on which seller applications you're taking. Other than that, the features are fairly straightforward. If you want, I'll give you a demonstration after this. All about the full life cycle of the supply chain management. Yes, I'm explaining exactly that. The whole thing is protocolized. The entire return, refunds, everything. So if you want a more detailed demo, I'm very happy to show you right now how the entire thing has the protocol integrated. So if somebody comes and says, I want a return or I want to do a refund, it will go into the protocol and will follow the process. And it is very well defined, which means that if it is within the settlement period, and you are asking for a return, the seller can refute that return if the grounds are not right. But otherwise, the seller will have to accept it. And if the seller accepts it, the money goes back to the buyer. Now, also on that perspective, there are rules that are written when you're buying that product, who's paying for forward logistics and who's paying for reverse logistics. All these are very well defined. So, Digant, these are a little detailed questions which might take us a little on a different trajectory in this kind of a group setting. I'm happy to take you through the entire protocol and the entire tech that we built. How much returns can we expect? I don't think I can commit on that. All I can tell you is that I can give you an exit more or less in 5 years. We have some incredible next set investors who are ready to invest right now. How much revenue generated? Remember, this is a 9-month-old company. We've already generated close to 2 CR in revenue, and we are on track to do 3 CR this year. Now, do we have such a protocol in other countries? No, we don't. We should be extremely proud of what India has done, which is why I came back from LA to India, which is one of the reasons I came back. I do believe in ONDC. I think ONDC is incredible what they're doing, and UPI is incredible in what they're doing. There's no such protocol in any other country. Some other time, I'll explain why India took the protocol route. US took the route of platforms. They expanded their global power using platforms. China blocked that and tried to create their own platforms. Europe took the route of regulations. India said it's okay if people do platforms, but those platforms will have to operate on protocols, and those protocols will create equitability in the market. So this is an amazing thing that India has done, creating an amazing amount of equitability. I've never seen this anywhere. Honestly, I've worked in 21 countries. I've not seen this anywhere. This is an incredible development that India has done. I'm a technology product services startup. Can I be a part of ONDC? I guess so. There's nothing stopping you. Will we, as a buyer, get to know when this app is a buyer app on ONDC? Typically, it is written inside that, but it shouldn't matter to you. Just like when you're transferring money on UPI, PhonePe, Google Pay doesn't necessarily write that it is UPI, but they may. Rupees 10 lakh for setting up seller app. Will this scare away small time players? We're not targeting small time players. We're not going to MSMEs. Our customers are taking their applications to MSMEs, which means that if you're HUL or Coca Cola, we provide the application to you, you take it to MSMEs. They're not charging anything. They're not charging 1 rupee from the MSMEs. So the small businesses can sell through those applications. But owning your own application costs money. And that is only possible for mid to large companies. So our TG is not MSMEs. We're not targeting them. What if a buyer query is responded with 10,000 plus sellers? How does it rank if all have the same price to offer? Look, imagine this. You're walking on the street. Is there an algorithm in front of you that says which shop to go in, which product to buy? No. You decide for yourself, depending on what you like, what you want to buy. And then inside the shop, you decide based on how you would decide price, looks, many other criteria. So even if 10,000 responses come, and they do come, you will be sorting them in your priority. You'll be saying, show me the closest ones, show me the cheapest ones, show me the best rated ones. And it's impossible that 10,000 of them are exactly the same at the exact same location with the exact same rating and exact same features. You can choose by whether they're returnable or cancelable. You can choose whether the shoe is red or blue. It's a choice how you sort it and how you filter it. If I built a buyer app, I can build a layer above ONDC and filter results as the data received from ONDC is now under the buyer app control. No, you cannot. This is the one thing you cannot do. So, Mustafa, understand this very categorically. A buyer app is not allowed to do anything with the search. There's nothing called you get the data from ONDC and then you do whatever you want. No. During the testing period, ONDC will check whether you're showing everybody neutral. You cannot put any algorithm in place. You have a contract with 9 large contracts, but 12 lakhs per month revenue. 12 lakhs per month revenue includes implementation fees that we're getting. And it is about 10 companies right now and 20 contracts because all these companies are multiple apps. Each app is a separate contract. So Canara Bank has buyer app, seller app, both. And some have 3 applications like Zion has buyer app, seller app, and they're also running their own logistics app. IndiePay has credit buyer app, investment buyer app. So each of these are different contracts. We have more than 20 contracts signed. What is the use case for Canara? Okay, well, there are 3 banking use cases. First, you go into a banking app, you normally do a banking transaction. But if you notice SBI Yono or ICICI Bank app, they already have commerce features inside their banking app. You can go in and buy straight, right? You can do that. Now, you may choose to buy there or not buy there depending on the deals they're providing. Normally, we don't buy because they're not better. Amazon is better. But now, thanks to ONDC, all Canara Bank does is open up a buyer app where people can come and buy and get all the best deals from all the sellers from any seller app. Similarly, all Canara Bank does is open up a seller app inside the buyer app, inside the banking app, and you can start selling everything from samosas to clothes. Depends on what you want to sell. How much revenue generated presently from all the clients? I've answered this. Please show us a demo. Please show us a demo. Giri, happy to show you the demo right now. You compared your product with Aadhaar and UPI payment. Is this government initiative? Indeed, it is. ONDC is completely a government initiative. It is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Piyush Goyal's industry. What is the funding quantum? We were looking at 8 CR. We are already at 10.5 CR. We're looking to extend it slightly. At what valuation are we raising? This is convertible debt, 30 crore floor, 60 crore cap. Is Unimart same as Adya? No, it is not. It has nothing to do with Unimart. Unimart was a separate company I used to run. Unimart and Adya have nothing to do with each other. All the investors from Unimart have signed consent forms and releases, every one of them. And then only we started Adya. Unimart and Adya have nothing to connect.
Just to where the question is coming from, probably Shayak, your Zoom name is Shayak Unimart. You should change it to
अरे वो
Shayak.
zoomed up, their AI keeps on making because for 5 years I think I put Unimart. No matter how many times I rename it, it goes back.
Yeah, after every call, you're like at the start of every call, it asks to rename you, and I am facing similar issues.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, now I'm Adya. Yes.
I've guys shared the link on Invest platform where Adya AI is already live, and folks who are interested, you can enter your investment intent there. Also, if you wish to see more details, in
If you want
terms
to
of
see the demo,
terms,
I'm happy to do it now, Rohan. I'm happy to do the demo. Anybody who's interested can stay back and see the demo.
yeah, we'll just address the last couple of questions and then we'll go for the demo.
Okay, so will this lead to the end of Amazon, Swiggy, Flipkart? Most likely. I mean, when infinite play comes in, this is what happens with time. The number of suppliers on that particular protocol will go very high, and many of these small businesses will realize it is so much more profitable and effective to sell on ONDC compared to a platform. So they drop out of the platforms. So end buyers will soon start seeing not enough options on those platforms, but a lot more on protocol. And then they start moving to the protocol. Just like what had happened with Paytm wallet. When UPI came in, people stopped using the wallet because the use cases stopped. Um, need not create his own app, a seller, but ride on a Canara Bank like a large seller platform. Indeed, there are many, many large seller platforms that are coming up. Is a banking marketplace use case for Canada blessed in principle by RBI? I'm not going to comment on this because it is not my job to comment on that. RBI doesn't bless anything. They only come down on it when the time is right. So I'm not going to comment on that. Minimum investment, I think Rohan can answer that.
So yeah, Anush, basically it's 2 lakhs per investor for our syndicate. So we've kept it to the lowest feasible, and at the same time, it should not be a raw deal for the startup as well because they are intending to raise funds via us. So yeah, we've kept it at 2 lakhs. So if anyone wants to raise their hand and ask final couple of questions, please do so now. Then we'll move on to the demo, which Shayak has obliged us to help us with. Or yeah, if folks prefer it after the demo, we'll do that. One last question. I think Vicky is saying since Protein is a competitor, other players might go to Protein to develop their site.
Protean is typically not a tech company. I mean, initially one or two players did go to Protean, but I haven't heard of Protean closing anybody in the recent past. Protean is more of a services provider, but yeah, sure, it could possibly happen. There will be other players. It's too big a market. It's not, we won't be the only ones.
So we've had a couple of questions on the revenue projections. So we
Yeah,
will.
so very simply put, we're looking at, sorry, one second. Santosh, I'm going to give a demo. Is it possible for you to come online and show us the WhatsApp demo? Maybe in 10-15 minutes. This is very urgent. Hmm? Can you ask somebody else to come online and do that? I want to show people the AI that you built. Just check. Just check and I'm sending you the link. Send it to them. Okay? Bye. Sorry, I just wanted you guys to see the AI that we built. That's actually spectacular. Give me a second. I'll just share the link with Santosh. He
Sure.
heads he heads our data science team. Um, Okay, sorry. Yeah. So this year we are targeting about 3 CR. Next year we are targeting about 12 CR. So I mean, the near future, these are the revenues that we're targeting. So in the first financial year of the company, we're targeting 3, and in the next financial year, we're targeting about 12. And the reason these projections are all bottom up, these are not top down, meaning that I'll close these many companies and I'll make this much. No, these are built on the basis of how many we are actually closing and what revenues they can generate for us. So from there, we've extrapolated the projection. How can ONDC take care of customer experience that Amazon offers? Look, ONDC doesn't take care of that. Like if you think of the customer experience on Amazon, on the internet doesn't take care of the customer experience. It is taken care of by whoever is building the website or the browser. So similarly, whoever's building their applications on ONDC will take care of the customer experience. Any other questions? I'm very happy to do the demo otherwise. And I'll also get Saira on the call so that she can show you a live transaction. Just a second.
Sure. While you share the link with others, I'll just read out a couple of questions. Parth is saying, when will the company start getting profitable or break even?
About August this year.
And Prem is saying, what is the long-term sustainable advantage?
I mean, so there is no company can say that they have a advantage forever. So advantages are built in stacks. So today our advantage is that we have the most advanced technology stack and the most composable technology stack. But going forward, the generative AI capabilities that we're building will create the next level of USP, which I don't think anybody can replicate very easily. Once you see the demo, you'll realize. I'm hoping that Santosh can come into the call and show you actually, because it's very impressive. One second. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm trying to get Praveen and Saira on the call. Yeah, please go
Sure.
ahead. If there are any other questions, I'll answer them in the meantime.
So what are the challenges you see in scaling? Parth is asking.
Challenges in scaling. To be honest, we are not targeting. One second, Praveen, मैं एक लिंक भेजा है टेक ग्रुप पे. आप और सायरा या मानिक प्लीज ज्वाइन कीजिए ना. I want to show a live demo. I understand. तो मानिक या सायरा किसी से बात कीजिए. This is urgent. Huh? I didn't know they would want to see a demo, but now they want to. So I want to show a live one. Normal demo मैं दिखा दूंगा, but live demo के लिए आप लोग आ जाओ. Okay. Okay, so no, we are not filing for any patents on GenAI because a lot of the GenAI has other things included in it. So no, we are not planning any patents at this point in time. Companies that have their own website have to drive their own traffic, and which is very, very expensive. Typical EBITDA, typical margin on a say first time customer is 1.8 times the value of the purchase, which means that for every dollar that you earn, you spend $1.8 in marketing to get that customer in your own website. You don't do any of that on ONDC. You're just listing yourself on one seller app and you're becoming discovered on every buyer app in everybody's pocket. Why would you not do that? You're not spending anything. It's really great. Sorry, Rohan, back to you if you have another question.
Yeah.
Major components,
So
major components of the cost, I think that's primarily salaries and that's it. We don't have any other cost since even the cloud cost is passed on to the customers. They pay for the cloud. We don't pay.
I think Digant is saying, out of 3 crore revenue, how much is the revenue that it makes from app building versus commissions and fees?
We don't build apps. The tech stack belongs to us. Only thing is what we do is we customize it sometimes or integrate it. And that too, we've created something that is called ATMA. Atma Nirbhar Technology Marketplace by Adya, ONDC Atma. And ONDC Atma, anybody can come in, build their own applications themselves if they don't want to pay us. How much of that 3 CR? About 1.5 CR will be from the implementation fees and the remaining will be from the percentages.
Sure. I think we could maybe begin with a sample demo of what you have handy, and then by the time your team joins, we can look at the
Yeah,
rest.
let me do that. I'm sharing my screen. There are multiple actors in the transaction, and which is why you need the finance application. When I show you, you will see what happens there. Okay, just a second. Let me just check if Sarah can join so we can save some time. Otherwise, okay, so what we're doing here is that these are all the various categories that you can sell on this application. Sorry, just a second. Santosh? Yeah. So maybe you can stop by the roadside somewhere and guide him because it is important. It's very important that you stop by the roadside somewhere and just guide him. Okay? हाँ ठीक है. I'll wait for. How much time do you need? No, I don't have that much time. See what you can do. Bye. Okay. So you can technically sell all sorts of categories of products through these applications. These applications are all mobile as well as web friendly. So what happens is these are baked like they look like Canara Bank's application, right? Because it's Canara Bank can optimize the front end, can optimize the workflows, the rules, everything in this. And they are sitting inside Canara Bank's existing mobile banking application. So you can click this and come here. Now what a particular, sorry, the Zoom has all these screens and I have to move around. Now, when you select that you want to buy something, let's say you want to buy this, this is a product display page. You say buy now. You then go and I'll have to log in to check out. This is sitting inside Canara Bank's app, so I'm not logging in. And this is a live app. Similarly, this application was built for Wins. Now, Wins is one of the biggest rewards loyalty programs in India. So what they do is, they're allowing people to buy using reward programs, coupons, referral points, etc. So, प्रवीण को join कर रहा है? हेलो, ओ अच्छा आप ज्वाइन कर चुके हो, ठीक है। तो लाइव डेमो कौन दे रहा है? ओके ठीक है, तो आप रेडी हो जाओ, I'll finish. Okay, so yeah, so again, you'll see similar categories, but only thing is this application is a lot more gamified. So you can actually do home deliveries and all. You can save your favorite stores. You can save your favorite products into wish lists and everything. This also, some of these applications also have deep linkings, QR codes built in. I'll show you some other interesting things. By the way, this is the application we built for Zionmart, which is sitting inside all the different cooperative societies. I'll show you the buyer side admin. So this is the buyer admin. Now what happens here is Canara Bank can come in and they can see all the orders that have come. Sorry, I think I need to log out and log in. 1 second. Yeah, okay, better. So Canara Bank logs in and they get to see all the orders that have been placed through the thing. They get to see all the payouts. They get to see the details of all the sellers whose orders have been placed in their buyer app. They get to see the details of all the customers who are there in that buyer app and all the details of those customers. There are settings here where if a brand wants to come and do marketing on Canara Bank's app, Canara Bank can create banners for them and can showcase those particular brands. So they can actually create banners, create rules around those banners, marketing around those banners, they can do that. Similarly, there are category controls where Canara Bank can decide which categories are allowed to sell on Canara Bank's app. There are content management rules where Canara Bank can publish their own privacy policies, terms, conditions, everything. Plus, there is also notification management. In notification management, Canara Bank can connect their servers, can connect their templates, whatever, like, for example, if somebody places an order, what message to send, whether to send it on SMS, email, WhatsApp, they can connect everything here. And other than that, Canara Bank can also connect the various payment gateways that we already have built in. So I can see hands being raised. Please ask me your questions. Shrey, Harsh, if you have a question, please go ahead.
So let me allow them to unmute. Harsh,
Yeah.
allowing to unmute, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Actually, I happened to miss a part in the middle because I had another call, but I
Sure.
don't know if this question was taken up. So if it is, then I'm sorry to repeat the question though. But real
Okay.
quick, I wanted to understand when it's such a large discovery platform for sellers, where they can be discovered across multiple applications. How do the sellers benefit in terms of being able to actually get a good amount of business? Because
Because you're
there's no
thinking, okay, I
marketing.
got you. Sorry, just in the interest of time, I understood your question,
Sure, sure.
but you're making one fundamental mistake in understanding how ONDC works. You think it's
Okay.
e-commerce, but it's actually mostly hyperlocal, retail, everything combined. So when I go and I search, I will sort by the ones who are closest to me normally. And I can also sort by whoever is the cheapest. I can also sort by whoever is rated the highest. So essentially, there need not be an algorithm that defines for me which sellers or which products are best for me. Or it could be defined before I do the search, which means I may have done my own research and I say I want this specific product. And then of course it shows only that.
Yeah, but there could be like 20 or 30 of them coming up, right?
Sure.
Or even 100 such results. So, I mean, what are the chances for sellers to actually, I mean, of course, I understand the filtering criteria. We all use that. But despite that, how does the algorithm work in terms of providing those sellers enough business?
One, there is no algorithm. There
Mhm,
will never be an algorithm. You're not allowed to use an algorithm to show somebody before somebody else. You, it is the buyer's choice how they filter and how they sort. Now, if I
mhm,
want to see just 5 results, I will basically reduce the number of views I want on my first page to 5, and I will say, show me the closest ones. So only the closest 5 will come up. Or I may combine that with saying, show me the closest 5 and the cheapest 5. So whichever combination, those 5 will come up in the first page. So it's my choice. There may be thousands or tens of thousands or lakhs of responses. That won't
mhm.
change the fact that I will see who I want to see.
Sure. So this looks like a huge benefit for the buyer. So it's a buyer's market out here,
No,
if
it's a
my
huge
understanding
benefit for
is
the
correct.
sellers. I'm sorry that there is a
Okay.
misunderstanding there. It's actually a bigger benefit for the sellers. Think about it this way. Assume you're running a restaurant,
Mhm,
okay? Swiggy comes.
mhm,
Swiggy says, hey, Harsh, I'm going to charge you 35%. You're a new restaurant. You have no option but to get that displayed there because they've got the views. And then ONDC comes along and says, you don't have to pay a penny. You'll be
mhm,
discovered on every single buyer app. By the way, you'll be discovered on WhatsApp or YouTube. You'll be discovered on PhonePe, Paytm, Google Pay, all of who have crores and crores of people who will be searching.
mhm,
Now, when a transaction happens with you, supposing somebody had saved you as a favorite, well, then
mhm,
you pay maybe 2% to that particular thing, not 35% or 3% to that particular buyer app. Also,
mhm,
a lot of this discovery, honestly speaking,
mhm,
in the future, about 8 to 9 times in 10, so 80 to 90% of the cases, the discovery is when the buyer walks into the store, sees the products and scans a QR code and buys it then and then. Remember,
mhm,
UPI, you don't necessarily do it at a distance. More often than not, you do it in person. So
mhm.
ONDC also has the same benefits. And by the way, if you've walked into the store, you can save the store as your favorite, and then you can buy it from home again next time.
Got it.
Plus,
Sure. Thanks.
remember, not just
Mhm,
the margin that they're saving, the discovery they're getting, but because everything
mhm.
is digitized, they'll get credit on ONDC, which they can't get normally.
Yeah, okay.
There are all these credit players who are building algorithms so that they can take the transaction data and give them credit. So that's coming now. And that we are already enabling Aditya Birla, who's doing something similar.
Mhm. Interesting.
So, so small businesses benefit, large businesses benefit, and buyers benefit. The
Mhm,
only people who don't benefit are aggregators.
mhm.
Okay.
Sure. Sure. Thanks.
I think
Thanks.
Shrey and Giri also had some questions. Do you want them to ask before I move on to the seller applications?
Sure. Shrey has not raised his hand anymore. Giri has raised his hand. Giri, allowing you to unmute.
Yeah, you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay. A very basic question. You should have, let's take this Canara Bank thing, right? So what part is done by you?
All of
Adya.ai,
it.
yeah.
All
All
of
of
it
it?
is us. All of it is
Okay,
us.
so the entire application is hosted by you guys, you saying, correct, right?
Entire application is built and managed and hosted by us. We are the tech player.
Got it. Okay. So let's assume me as a seller, I have a Canara Bank account. I can write the application that has been built by Canara Bank to host my stuff there. Am I right?
You can.
Okay.
And so you can if you're selling something on Coke. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're a Kirana, you can go on the Coke Buddy app. You can go on the HUL app. You can there are more like Zionmart and all, which I'm showing you. They also have seller apps built with us. And we're thinking from the seller perspective, but from the buyer perspective also, if you start thinking, you'll see that many of these are hosting buyer apps, which we built.
So eventually, then there'll be millions of apps of such kind getting listed on ONDC, correct? Right? Eventually, that'll
I
happen,
wouldn't
right?
say millions because that would be a too high a number for a market, but it would be on in real time basis about 10 to 20,000 applications would be there easy, more if not less, depending on the number of domains. So retail will have some, mobility will have some will be master applications across domains. So you'll have many. Some applications will be niche to a particular locality or built for a particular community. We're seeing all this happening in front of our eyes right now.
Okay. So last questions. I mean, I do get it. Okay, we are trying to move away from a platform based to a different thing. Okay. Yeah. So will Amazon, all these guys let ONDC succeed, or like when will this take off? What stage are we currently? Why are
So
we not using it? How do I use it?
okay, so any protocol and not a platform, any protocol typically goes through 4 stages of adoption. Okay. Stage 1, is when the early adopters will come on. The startups normally will come and build something on it and try to do something with it because they can't succeed against the incumbents who are much well funded. Stage 2 is when the protocol stabilizes, the enterprises will come. Why? Because these enterprises do not like the platforms that exist, because platforms, remember, monopolize and duopolize the market. So enterprises see these protocols as an opportunity. They'll come in and they'll bring their entire ecosystem with them. Coca Cola brings kiranas and Google Pay brings buyers, and extend that metaphor to everybody else. So everybody will come in and enterprises will start creating that capability. Third stage is when the supply side, which is the SMEs, MSMEs, they start realizing the benefit. They haven't been digitized. Remember, we talk about Amazon so much, but Amazon constitutes how much? Amazon is 34% of retail, and retail is 7% of, 34% of e-commerce, and e-commerce is 7% of retail, which means Amazon is what? 34% or 7%? 2%, right? So 2% is on Amazon of all the sellers, right? So essentially, 2% of Indian sellers are digitized. The remaining 98% don't use it because they don't see value. So they come in. That's third stage. And then they, when you walk into a store, tell you, Dada, QR code scan karo. And that is fourth stage, mass adoption stage. We will get to mass adoption in 2026. But by the way, just to put everybody in, at rest, ONDC was doing 100 orders a day in May 2023. Guess how many orders they're doing today? 2.1 lakh orders a day today, and growing in 9 months from 100 orders to 2.1 lakh orders a day. So ONDC is not static; it's growing incredibly fast, and it depends on who comes on ONDC and who builds what on ONDC. I do see 2 more hands, Rohan, if you allow them.
Yeah, sure. So allowing Kiran to go first in the order which folks raised hands.
Yeah. See, I mean, you are basically building in apps for the large companies, okay, wherein they can, like, let's say, the Canara or the Aditya Birla and all those things, wherein they can host the other products and sell in their platform. Okay, is that what you are trying to say, that this is your service?
Yes,
Can you
we're a
explain
technology service
in very
provider. We
simple
provide the
language?
simple language. We are a technology service provider. We provide the infrastructure, and whatever infrastructure we provide, it is taken to market by these large enterprises.
But why do they do that? The
Why
reason
won't they
is
build it by themselves?
their business is they have to do their core businesses, like a banking services, right?
Let me give you a parallel example. You'll understand. Everybody needs a payment gateway. Do they build a payment gateway?
Yeah,
What actually very few will build their own payment gateway, right?
correct.
Okay, it's very similar. What happens here is these are very complicated applications to build, very heavy compliance driven. Today, I'll show you something. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is the ONDC website I'm showing you, official ONDC website. Initiated integration. Guess how many? Today, initiated integration. Okay, 14,644. Close to 15,000 people building applications on ONDC. Now, see the fun part. How many are live on the network? 68. 70 today. 2 more went live today. 70. In 25 months, out of 15,000 companies, 70 have managed to do it. Now, understand this. It takes you 12 months to 18 months to build it because it is complicated, very highly compliance driven. 1. 2, even if you get beyond that, you'll have to continually maintain it because our protocol changes every day. And even if you manage to do that, if your application is not good enough, people won't use it. So people come to the infrastructure builders of this industry, the rails of this industry, the technology providers of this industry, and we provide them the tech that they can, in 7 days to 21 days, take it to market quickly. That's what we do. I don't know if I was able to answer your question,
It has to be marketed, right? Ultimately, it has to be marketed because, see, banking will market their banking services, right?
No,
and
they're not.
similarly,
No, that's a wrong assumption. They're not. Because assume you're a banking customer. The core banking they're already giving you, but you are going on that banking application. If you can buy other things on that banking application, then that banking application becomes twice more valuable to you because 1, you engage more and you spend more on that application, and your transactions also go through them. So the banks are actually interested in you buying and selling on their application. And they know that every other bank will also provide the same. So they have to do it quickly and better than others. So they want the technology providers to come and do that. And they are the ones, it's their app, not our app. We are only the infrastructure providers. They are the ones who are white labeling it and taking it to market. In fact, Canara Bank has set aside a 30 crore budget to do that. Every other company is doing massive marketing around it. I know Britannia is setting aside an entire department to do it. Coca Cola is taking it to 1.5 lakh merchants. These are not Muboli numbers, these are real numbers that they're doing.
Okay, and thank you for Shaq for clarifying. Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Parth, you can go next, allowing you to unmute.
Yes, so just to get an idea of your technology, first example you gave that, for example, if HUL wants to get their merchants or the entire ecosystem on board, that we understood. Second example you gave that if I want to make a dosa in my house, then I can get access to all the vendors that can supply those things to me. So as a consumer sitting inside my house, how can I, like, do I have to go to a site? Do I have to go to an application? How does that work?
Oh, that's a good question. So basically, if you want to access the internet part, where do you go? You go to a browser, right?
Right.
Okay. Similarly, if you have to access ONDC, you have to go to a buyer application. Now, those buyer applications are applications that are already sitting in your phone. Do you have WhatsApp in your phone today?
Yes.
Okay. If you know the right number on WhatsApp, you can simply go there and say, "Mujhe na aaj raat ko maine aaj dosa joy se." If I'm saying it right in Gujarati, I think I understood your Gujarati most likely. So the point is, I want to have dosa today. If I say that, what will happen? It'll understand that yes, one, that it'll convert from voice to text, Gujarati to English, and then go to the internet and find out urad dal, oil, salt, etc. And then once you approve, it'll go on ONDC and show you वो जेठालाल जो बाजू में बैठ के बेच रहा है. It'll show you all of that. That's
Okay.
how ONDC works. So we provide the technology. We don't, हम इसको market में लेके नहीं जाते हैं. This is what I'm
Okay.
trying to explain to everybody. We provide the technology to enterprise. We're like SAP, Oracle. We're like every other thing. So you build your entire tech stack, you go to market. We provide you the tech.
So that tech is live as well right now, or you are working on
ये
it
दिख रहा है ना आपको सामने. These are live applications जो आपको दिख रहा है. लोग कर रहे हैं इसको use.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think only
Shrey,
Shrey is left.
allowing you to unmute.
Hi, Shine. Hi, Ron. Thank you,
Hey.
Shine. I think one thing you're very much invested in this, and I mean you're very confident about this. So I mean that gives us a lot of confidence. So now I understand today you are working with multiple companies, and your turnover today is around 3 crores, and you expect it to reach 12 crores next year. Considering that you are only looking to sort of reach out to large enterprises and not to MSME, so to say, what would that number be? One, because today, when you just showed on the ONDC website as well, there are around 14,000 or 15,000 companies that are already working to sort of develop an app. So what sort of companies are left actually who would actually take your app? One, right? Or your technology. Two, when you say HUL or Canara Bank for that matter, will reach out to their customer base or their ecosystem, does it mean that you will also get a revenue once those guys come on board the HUL app, or no, that will be totally with HUL and you only get the transaction percentage of the revenue or the business that happens through that app?
Okay, I'll answer your first question first. I do have a question on your second question. Maybe I didn't understand it. वो बाद में लेता हूं मैं. The answer to the first question is this. That see, if you think about it, there are 14,000 companies or 15,000 companies that are already building. If you extrapolate that number, you'll realize 40, 50,000 companies would essentially end up building applications on ONDC at some point. But how many have gone live is the real question. बाकी तो live नहीं गए ना, उनको तो अभी भी tech service चाहिए. Live जाने के बाद भी अगर order नहीं आता है, ठीक से काम नहीं करता, they'll still come to a tech provider. And live जाने के बाद भी there are more specialized applications like this one, the finance application or the grievance application, which nobody will ever build. These are incredibly complex applications. If I start showing you the calculation in this and how it computes the GST, TDS, TCS, the corrections, the collections, the receiver reconciliation, the payment settlements, and all the different PGs and integrations with everything. This is not what anybody normally builds. Large companies have tech teams that implement Salesforce or stuff like that. They don't build product like this. So our customer base is all those large companies which haven't yet gone live, who will want to go live, who will want to build their own applications in these domains that we choose to be in, like retail, mobility, or financial services. And even those applications which are running by themselves will still come to us for the secondary applications, like grievance and finance management.
So in
And
your
they'll still come
estimate,
to us.
no, but in your estimate, have you looked at some number that you feel definitely this is my customer base? Just to
Yeah,
look
of course, we've done a full TAM. How else did I come up with the TAM and SAM and so on? We've done the full TAM, SAM, so on. We
So what
know
is your
we did a
TAM? What is
bottom.
your TAM?
So today we are looking at about close to 42 to 43,000 companies at the TAM across the domains. And SAM is somewhere around 15 to 16,000 companies. And the SOM would be about 2,000 companies.
Okay. And so in terms of revenue, where does that lead you over a period of, because this would be spread over
These are
multiple
very large
years.
revenues because imagine, just to
Yeah.
put one example, if I bring the Gold Council on board and 9,000 jewelers sell through that one application and I get 1% or half a percentage of the sale there, depending on scale, you can then compute ek application kitna deta hai. So the idea is in all these kind of things, it's 80-20. Okay. 20% of the businesses will give you phenomenal amount of returns and the remaining 80% will give you at least a minimum guarantee every month. तो minimum guarantee अगर आप ले लेते हो, एक ऐप का अगर आप minimum to minimum 50,000 ले रहे हो month का, तो 6 लाख रुपए minimum एक company से आता है. तो even if you assume that 14,000 companies are paying you 6 lakh a month, that's a minimum guarantee amount. But then you take the percentage amount and you see where this ends up. It's a phenomenally large TAM Samsung.
So actually, that was my second question. So which you answered in terms of percentage of the transaction. So whosoever will use your main app, which you have built for your customer, eventually you will get a percentage of the entire transaction that happens through that app.
Yes, indeed. Yes, on both sides.
Okay, and what stops people to sort of replicate and sort of not take your app again and build their own in-house? Do you
Okay,
think that?
so short term, mid term, long term, right? The short term thing is you'll have to go through 5,000 pages of ONDC protocol before you start building. And I'm being very practical here because there are many other people who are tech builders here who will probably agree with me. Most tech teams, when they try to do these things, they would do three things which would be entirely detrimental. One, they would basically hard code it. Two, they would build it specifically for their use case. And three, they've never worked on building on an application on a protocol. Not even the service integrators who do it know how to build applications on a protocol because these applications have to be entirely composable with every other application in the industry. So they have to maintain very high levels of exact, without which ONDC will not let you go live. If you see the testing ONDC does, there's a reason why only 70 have gone live till date. Okay, this is level one. Level two is the fact that ONDC changes every day. Would you rather focus on building this application and maintaining this application, or would you rather somebody else does it, so long as it doesn't, make a big impact on you? And many of these companies, the percentage they're paying us, they're anyways charging from the buyer, right?
Okay.
And it's coming at the cost of the middlemen who are already taking that percentage.
How long you have been invested in this company? I mean, how many months you have been building this?
9 months, but I was already building something similar in my earlier company, so I know the space well. 9 months.
Okay. I mean, that's all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cool. A bunch of other folks have raised hands, so if you have time, Shayak, we can quickly.
No, I have time.
take-
I can go. I can do it. It's good that people are asking these questions क्योंकि यहीं पे doubt
I
होता
see
है
a
लोग
lot of
invest नहीं
interest.
करते.
Yes. Cool. Uday, you can go next.
Yeah. Hey, with the very first question is this ONDC protocol and everything, it's new. What are the chances that this will disrupt at a very large scale? And what is the chances that something new will pop up and this will be totally get discarded?
Okay, so ONDC is not started by a startup or a company. ONDC is started by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And ONDC is being backed by everybody from RBI to SIDBI to IRDI to, just look at the number of regulators. Just look at this. Just look at this about ONDC and see who's invested in ONDC. The who's who of India have invested in ONDC. They are the ones who are backing ONDC and enabling ONDC. Just see this. What chance do you think we have of a master protocol that is being promoted by the government and positioned as something that is India's proposition to the rest of the world, which has been invested in by every regulator in India, is going to fail?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds good. Second question is, you also mentioned that you're not only building, but you are maintaining. And let's consider if the clients, Canara Bank or others, they have their own platform, cloud, and everything. Are you supporting that as well, or it's totally once you hand over the banks that they are going to run the show?
No. So the technology management is us, right? We manage the technology. Any kind of customer support or operation support, they'll do it for their customers. But any kind of technology, we maintain the technology. The full technology is maintained by us.
Okay. Also, looking at the current size and everything, right? There is totally a large market that needs to be converted into ONDC, and also as the time progresses, you also have to support it. So, how you're going to bridge that gap? Do you have any vision on that?
Okay. Now, a technology company on average, so long as we remain a technology company, on average only needs to ensure that the technology works. That is the beauty of it. Now, think about it. Some of the largest platforms on earth, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, you look at Uber, Amazon, all these large platforms, these large technology companies, they don't have a lot of spend unless they get into the operational aspect of it, which Amazon does. But if Google doesn't, then Google doesn't have a lot of operational spend there. I'm only explaining this because as a technology company, our spend is not a lot. We don't need to. But if we have to support the entire industry or the entire domain of ONDC, it's not going to be done with the amount of money we are raising now. So the next round that we're raising is already under discussion. It's going to be a $6 to $10 million round to take it to 15,000 companies, as we've seen.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thanks, Uday. Mustafa, you can go next, allowing you to unmute.
Yeah, hi, thanks. So I want to understand whether it's a purely technology based, so you are just giving your product to your customers, or you're also hosting some of the parts of the supply chain, like handling the payments or resolutions, whatever. So if you are doing the finance part in a transaction, do you have some sort of licensing from RBI to handle the finances?
The answer to all of that is no. We only do the technology. We provide the technology platform for the finances, for the grievances, for the seller app, for the buyer app, across the 4 domains I mentioned: retail, financial services, mobility, and logistics. We don't do the services, the management, the operations. And no, we don't need any license from RBI.
Thanks.
Cool. Prem, you can go next, allowing you to unmute.
Okay. Am I audible? Thanks, Rohan.
Yes,
Hey,
you are.
hi, Shayak. I think you've answered a lot of questions. I've got a lot of clarity.
Sure.
So I understand how you play as a technology service provider. I understand the complexity in the ONDC protocol. I understand
Sure.
your value currently, right? So that's very clear. What I'm concerned about is the future, right? Say if a technology service provider like TCS, like what they did with the earlier projects, if they come in, so what's the plan then, right? Because they could set up a team of 200 people, studying the protocol, going through the changes, building these apps, building Gen AI. They have
Yeah.
so how do
If
you
only money could solve all the problems, isn't it? Look, I think let's put it this way. There is, in this kind of things, there's a massive amount of first mover advantage. Will TCS be building UPI apps today? Will TCS be building payment gateways today? Will TCS be building browsers today? There's a lot of opportunity, massive volumes there. Will they be doing it? Do they have the expertise or the understanding? No. So once ONDC scales, and so you need to understand our GTM strategy to get a better answer to this. What we're doing is we are basically, and I told you I'll show you my screen. So let me show you this. You see this? This is the CTO of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Microsoft ecosystem to accelerate this. Looking forward to partnering with you. Okay. I'll show, and you can see something like this.
Yeah, I understand Microsoft, Google, Deloitte.
Okay, so I'm giving a roundabout
different.
answer, but the point is basically that if you're able to access the market through people who already have access to the market, there's a shared interest there. Microsoft wants to be the cloud provider, Google wants to be the cloud provider, we provide the technology. So they take us to all their customers.
Yeah.
Or HSBC wants to be the banking partner and we provide the technology. Something similar. And Meta also. So the idea is that that's part one of our strategy, right? And once, in terms of the long-term moat is the second part of your question, the entire, and I've been waiting to show that the AI capabilities that we've created. I don't know if Santosh has managed to join the call. If he has, he will show you. The AI capabilities are significantly more advanced. So this is at the inflection point of three things. One, the Gen AI capability. Two, ONDC. And three, the subject matter expertise that we built around these areas. So now, if a TCS has to do that, they'll have to recreate all three, get the penetration into the market, which we will already have got by bringing all the lighthouses in.
Right.
But at the end of the day, business is business, right? There will be competitors and we will have to compete and we'll have to be better than them.
Correct, exactly, yeah. And the Gen AI model, we are training only on the data of the customer you're onboarding, right?
I mean, our own data plus customers' data plus some of these new Gen AIs don't need as much data to model because they're backed by LLMs, which already are very well capable of doing quite a few things like language translation, etc. by itself. Don't need a lot of training anymore. Those are the older models where you needed to train the OCRs and the image recognition algorithms. Don't need to do that anymore with the new Gen AI.
Got it.
Santosh, are you on the call by any chance? I don't know if you managed to join.
So no one is allowed to speak until they are given access, but I don't see anyone by name Santosh. I see Sarah, who you are referring to.
Saira's there. Drupad is there. Is Drupad there? I don't know. Drupad might be able to do the demo.
Not sure.
Drupad is there. Yeah, I can see Drupad. He's there. Okay. So when the time is right, I'll ask Drupad to do the demo. I do see two more people who have questions, and then maybe we can
We'll
get
just
to the
take these
rest of it.
final two questions and then we'll do the demo quickly.
We'll do the demo. Sure. This has gone on fairly long.
Yeah, Ramesh, you can go next.
Yeah, Shank. So I have a ICICI Bank application. I go there and I see some, say suppose some top or there, and I again go to Flipkart or Amazon. I see that the price is less. I buy from aggregator. So what makes customers churn towards this ONDC
But
specific
you answered the
portal?
question right now. You just answered the question right now. ICICI Bank doesn't have the best deal, so you go to Amazon, right?
Yeah.
But ONDC may, if ICICI Bank created a buyer app on ONDC, ICICI Bank is not getting the deals. The deals are coming from every seller application in India to ICICI Bank. So who do you think will have the better deals, Amazon or all the seller applications combined?
But what if Amazon offers more deep discounted price than the sellers? Maybe they burn cash as they are big players, and I still go to Amazon.
Look, maybe, right? Amazon sells, by the way, I'll tell you real numbers. Amazon, less than 1% of Amazon's catalog is something that Amazon actually promotes. The remaining 99.3% of their catalog, they don't promote. It actually goes by organic traction. But leave that aside, leave numbers aside. Just understand this, that HUL, Coca Cola are big companies, humongous companies. And this is not just limited to those products. This is across, like booking metro tickets, flight tickets, getting a car, getting an insurance loan or whatever. So think about it from this perspective. You go in to buy a particular thing, assume that is selling on Amazon and on ONDC. You are going to get so many more options right next to you compared to Amazon. First. Second, you will probably very likely get a better offer on ONDC because there are brands who are directly selling to you. Whereas on Amazon, since Amazon charges a big percentage, they're not necessarily going to be able to give you that. And as this happens over and over and over again and again, the number of sellers on Amazon decreases, the number of options you get on Amazon decreases. We've seen this happen every time. I used to take a very difficult example before. I don't do that anymore, but I'll give this example now to exemplify this. When US goes into Afghanistan for war, US always has a time period after which they have to exit. But the Afghans have to stay there. So they are fighting for survival. They'll go below the mountains, but they'll fight for survival. So this is what happens in a finite versus infinite game when we do it in game theory. A finite game has a time attached to it. So it has to have win or loss. An infinite game doesn't have time attached to it. So there's no win or loss. They will keep playing. When you extend that same capability into a protocol, into ONDC, then you realize all these small shops nearby you, which you can buy from, which you won't find on Amazon, all the products, all the discounts from every other brand and seller around you, the supply chain cost additional that Amazon will have to bear over time erodes the value. I don't know if I was able to explain this to you, but that's the real answer.
Yeah. Maybe apart from that, some marketing needs to happen more for the user
Yeah,
side.
all these buyer apps are doing their own marketing. I'm just telling you that you may not have seen it yet because I haven't gone to that extent, but it's big time happening.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Got it. Harsh, allow me to unmute again.
Thanks, Ron. I just wanted to quickly check about the instrument, investment instrument that we're talking about here, which is CCD. If you could help us understand that a little bit, how you're
So it's a
structuring.
convertible debenture. It has a floor at 30 crores. It has a cap at 60 crores. It has a term of 18 months. In 12 months, if I get my next round, you'll get a 10% discount to my next round valuation, which will be capped at 60 crores. Or if I get it in within 18 months, then you'll get a discount of 20% to the next round valuation, which will again be capped at 60 crores. Or if I don't do it in 18 months, then well, it converts at 30 crore valuation. That's what the instrument is.
Okay.
This is also in detail on the invest page, which we've shared the link for in the chat already.
Yeah, no, I went through that, but I also wanted to understand among them which is the one that we are going ahead with. So that means that this is the CCD with discounted cap. Is that the right understanding, Ron?
Yes.
Or with both discount cap and valuation cap? 1.4.
No, there's a discount cap and a valuation cap.
Correct.
Right. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's the
You
clarity
also
I
have
was looking for.
a considerably low direct cap table amount of 10 lakhs. So anyone who wishes to be on the cap table of an impressive generative AI startup solving in the ONDC space, 10 lakh is the direct cap table, 2 lakh is the minimum via the syndicate.
Right. And considering you're looking to close maybe this year at about 3 crore, Sharik, what are you looking at in terms of the next 3 years? What's the kind of turnover that you envision?
I mean, I'll share the revenue projections. It's already shared with WC and all. But the point is that we are looking at about 12 crores next year. And in terms of the number of companies we're looking to close is about 50 companies in the next financial year. This year, about 20.
Yeah, I mean, any thoughts on a 3-year plan? I mean, what do you foresee?
Yes.
Or envision?
Yes, on a 3-year plan, we are hoping to get to that 25 to 30 million number, but it kind of depends on how fast ONDC scales. So we'll see.
Sure, appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Cool.
The projections are there, so you'll see the projections all done in thorough detail. And as I mentioned earlier in my pitch, it's done in a bottom-up approach. It's not done top-down, so you can trust those projections we created.
Yeah, to add to that, we'll also be sharing, the projections alongside the recording that we share of this call on all the groups. Cool. I think we've answered bunch of
Let me just finish the demo quickly. I don't think we have the time to do a live demo. I'll show the AI because that's going to be very impressive. So guys, this is the seller app admin and this is the seller app. So when you register as a seller, you can come and do your listings. You can manage your orders. I'm not going too detailed into it, but just understand that you can, in your listings, you can manage your products as groups, create add-ons, create a menu. If you're a F&B, as in a restaurant, you can create menus. You can do your inventory management, your pricing management, and your offers and discounts. So you can do all sorts of things. And by the way, cataloging, just to put things in perspective, we actually have one of the most advanced cataloging processes. You can manually do one catalog at a time that way, or you can actually do cataloging via bulk upload this way. So you select which domain you are in, which subcategory you are in, download the template, fill it up, upload it. Or you can do cataloging using a library. We actually run about 15 lakh products of our own. So you can simply say which biscuits, show you all biscuits. Select which ones you want to sell, import it, update the price or inventory, and you're good to go. There is one other way to do cataloging, which I will let Drupad show when he's doing the AI demo. With this, I'm going to go to order management. Then there's payment management, which will come up. There's grievance and logistics management, etc. And of course, when I'm setting up my profile, I can actually set up the logistics rules for my store. So I can say that, which products and categories I'm selling, and whether I'm selling pan India, selected city, radius, whether I'm doing my own shipping or ONDC shipping, whether I'm doing what type of shipping I'm doing, and cheapest. Now, what will happen is once you set this, every time you get an order as a small seller, depending on what rules you set, the system will automatically come and find that shipping and assign that shipping to you, right? Alternatively, there is also a shipping application we provide where you can go and you can put in the details and it will find the best shipping options for you. Now, Saira can show that to you once I'm done, how that works on the shipping application. Okay. So yeah, and this is the seller app admin, where, by the way, there is a big affiliate management portal where you can create affiliates. Affiliates will be able to launch their own portals through this. There's a seller management where you can manage all the sellers, approve them, reject them, see all the details, all the products, all the orders, all your reports, etc.
Yeah.
Right?
In the interest of time, let's move
Yeah,
to the.
I know people are getting antsy. What I'll do is I'll allow the AI team to do the demo, which will be, I think, a little bit more attractive.
Yeah.
Drupad,
Made
if you're
both of
there,
them
maybe you can share the
co-hosts.
screen.
Yeah, I've made both of them co-hosts as well, so you can unmute and share.
Drupad? Is he there?
Yeah, as well.
No, ONDC is not tied up with any particular supply chain management solution, Vicky. Just like you can buy products on ONDC, you can also buy shipping services on ONDC. So as of today, 15 different shipping partners have integrated with ONDC. So when you give that request, all the rates dynamically will come to you. Santosh, are you able to log in? I need you right now.
Hello, sir.
Right now, please. Bye. Okay, Santosh is coming, so he'll be able to do the demo. Sorry, Rohan.
Drupad, you were speaking.
Now I was talking to Santosh because Drupad is already in the call. I'm trying to.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, Drupad, hi. You want to start the demo because Santosh is joining. If you can, just start the demo while Santosh is joining. Show the buyer app only. Seller app also, you can show whatever you want to show.
So is my screen is visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay.
So what you will see here is a combination of WhatsApp with a generative AI layer that we have built on top of it, and also a whole lot of automation that we've done on WhatsApp, which you will see now. And then, of course, this entire thing is connected to ONDC. Sorry, 1 second. Yes, sir. नहीं हो रहा है ना यहाँ पे Zoom पे Drupad is sharing. It's there. It's working. हाँ तो join कर, but Drupad is doing it. I can see him doing it. Come. So you see this? This is all conversations. This is like you're talking to a salesperson. This is not at all like you join whenever you can. Drupad is doing it. Come as soon as you can. Okay? Bye. Right? So it's actually finding all the results for you. Yeah, maybe those are maybe something else. You can just go and say, I want to make a paneer butter masala, and see, it showed you paneer butter masala right now. You can even go and say, suggest some things that I should eat in Hyderabad right now, or Mumbai right now, wherever you are. Drupad, you go ahead with your normal demo. Santosh is downloading Zoom. He's on the road on his phone.
So we like we can also see our orders placed previously. Like so my
So
orders.
gentlemen, please bear with Drupad. He's typically not the person who does the demos. He's the developer who's built all this, but he's bravely trying to do the demo for all of you. And I wish I could have done the demo though. See this? This is all conversational. It's asking you what you want to do. It's helping you do everything. That's it. There is no code, nothing to be written. It writes the code dynamically. It literally writes the code dynamically to get those orders. This is not, I'm not making it up. It actually will write the Python code on the fly because you said, show me my orders. See, so this is the automation we built on top of WhatsApp. So normally you think WhatsApp is only messaging, right? This is happening on WhatsApp. This is all the automations we created on top of WhatsApp. So WhatsApp can be used like an app. By the way, you can also talk. And by the way, all that you're seeing on WhatsApp can also be done on an application also.
So should I go to the seller app cataloging?
No, buyer app dikha na. There are more things. Just maybe I'll take Santosh on the call. Hold on. While he's downloading Zoom. There are many other things you were showing me yesterday. I'm forgetting. 1 second. Okay, so you've not downloaded Zoom yet, right? No, that's okay. Then you stay on the call with me and I'll put you on speaker. I'll tell you what Drupad is doing. You guide him. Okay? So he has only one bar of signal. Drupad, you share your screen. Santosh, you're on speaker.
Okay. Drupad, which square are you in? Are you at?
He is in the buyer app. He just showed us how to show my orders or how you go ahead. You tell him what to do.
Yeah. So did you show the list? How can we see the list? I want to buy rice, atta, sugar and moong dal.
Okay, so Drupad,
yeah.
what Santosh is saying is show a list of items that I want to buy and show how the app will do it. Like if I'm going to the bazaar normally.
He has the query.
Yeah, he's writing it. Okay, so now he actually gave a requirement for multiple things. What the AI will do is take one item at a time, show me all the possible brands, etc. Okay, so Santosh, he gave the query, I want to buy rice, atta, sugar, and moong dal, and somehow the process broke.
Process broke.
I don't know. It says a fatal error has occurred. I don't know.
Ask him to type clear in capital letters.
Okay, he can hear you, by the way. You're on speaker.
Drupad, type clear in capital letters and try.
Okay, no, this time it worked. This time it worked.
Okay. Something to do with the server, I mean.
Probably the server. Yeah, we put it on a low server, no? Okay, search results mein ja, Drupad. Okay, so now you'll see it will show you various options for each one of them. See, first it's showing rice. Or you select atta, then it will show you options for atta or whatever, right? It shows you options for each one of them. And once you select which one you want to buy, it will show you who's selling that near you. You can also do this the reverse way, where you say, I want to buy from a particular store, and it'll show you all the items in that store. Okay. Drupad, you can close this query. I think people understood what you're doing. Santosh, what is the next query we should do?
Show me something to eat.
Drupad, show me something to eat.
So it is an ambiguous search where the products are not mentioned, and it will ask for the queries to narrow down search.
Okay. So gentlemen, please understand that he has not said what he wants to eat. So now the AI actually has to understand what he's trying to say and then get you that product. So it's asking you, would you like to see options for groceries or ready-made food? This is, by the way, it looks very similar to what I have to go through when my wife wants to go out and eat. I really don't know what she wants to eat. I'm guessing this AI will do a little better job than me. And Kiran, to answer your question, please understand that the sellers' applications are not being used by the buyers. Buyers on buyer application, sellers are on seller application. Okay. Okay. So
The ready-made food?
it's coming. Now it's coming. Is open. See, based on whatever you asked, it's showing you the best food near you. Because Drupad is sitting in Hyderabad, it's showing Hyderabad kind of food. Okay.
Next one could be search on internet for dosa ingredients and order them.
Drupad, search on the internet for dosa ingredients and order them. This is going to be interesting. You placed both instructions together. Let's see what it does. It's actually finding the ingredient. Yes, yes. Parth, the answer is right. Okay, so because Drupad gave both queries together, just write, Drupad, just write search on the internet for dosa ingredients and not order them. You gave both queries together.
What happened?
No, you wrote search on the internet for dosa ingredients and order them. So he gave both instructions.
Did you get any result?
No, he didn't.
Don't type anything, wait, just give.
Don't type anything. He already typed the next message. Oh, it actually came. Okay, so it found those ingredients. Now maybe Drupad, help me buy those items or something. Anyways, so Santosh, I'll drop you. It's okay. I think people have seen enough because it's been a very long call. I called you out of the blue. Sorry. No, it's okay. Don't worry. Chal. Bye, Santosh. Okay, Drupad, you can stop sharing. There are many other such capabilities like generating reports, generating catalogs, etc., which Drupad didn't show you because I realized that we are at 9:20 p.m. in the evening and people need to leave, so I'm stopping here.
Cool. Thanks for patiently taking up all the questions, Shayak. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I think folks who still have more queries, will be
Sorry, can I just
happy
answer
to
one thing?
take up.
The answer to your question is yes, it does do that. But that is called personalization. That is not called LLM. But yes, Parth, it does do that, the question that you asked. Yeah, sorry, back to you, Rohan.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, if some of you still have questions, queries, like, there are two ways we can take it. Either, you can reply to my message once I share the recording, perhaps early tomorrow, or, we also have the option to ask a question directly from the deal page on Invest, where Adya is already live, and a lot of you on the call here have already given their intent to invest after the impressive pitch. So yeah, with that, I think thank you everyone for staying up late in the call. I know it's borderline dinner time for a lot of you. And yeah, thanks, Shayak, for patiently answering all the questions and for the wonderful pitch. And most of us are looking forward to, be part of the growth story of Adya as well.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you, everyone. The recording soon with you all, and have a good night, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.